Hey guys, today we're going to do a watch unboxing and overview, and this is a watch from the company Corniche. So this is a French micro brand. There's a lot of decent French watches now. There's Yima, Corniche, Baltic. There's a lot of decent French brands now. A lot of them are micro brands. And micro brands means that they're not the big name brands. You know, they're not Rolex, they're not Patek Philippe, they're not Tag Heuer or Omega or Swatch. Yeah, any of those really, even, you know, like Citizen or Seiko, they're not those really big brands, right? Micro brands are kind of small independent brands. But what's interesting is their watches, micro brand watches are usually not that expensive. So Corniche watches are, they actually focus on chronographs, especially. So yeah, both Corniche and Baltic, which is another nice French micro brand, I think they have some pretty nice looking lineups, and they're not that expensive. So all of Corniche's watches are, I think, under $500. So I got this one for $500. This is a limited edition model, and just like their other models, it's a chronograph. And I've actually never really owned a chronograph before, because usually I don't like the busy dials, but this one actually really caught my eye. And Corniche really is the only chronograph that catches my eye, because their designs are actually pretty nice looking to me, and it's not like too busy or anything. Anyways, let's get down to the unboxing of this. Anyways, this is a little background on the company itself. Yep, it's a micro brand that started fairly recently, of course, as most micro brands are small companies that started recently. So you get a cleaning cloth, which you don't usually get with a watch, so that's interesting. I'm usually used to cleaning cloths on like electronic devices or glasses or something like that, but you get it with a watch. Certificate of authenticity, also interesting, because I don't think you see these on watches very often unless they're really high end. But this is not really good. This is not like a really high end watch, so I don't get that. Yeah, so yeah, it's not like a really expensive watch or anything, but it'll tell you the information about this watch. So this is a Blue Ardoise chronograph. So this is a limited edition watch, Blue Ardoise. There's only 200 of them made. So limited edition 200, 39mm case, so pretty nice size, I would say. It's not too large or not too small, so it's good. I think this is considered actually a relatively small case nowadays, but I think it's good for me. Genuine French leather. The movement is a Seiko VK64 hybrid movement, which means it's a quartz movement except for the chronograph function. The chronograph function does a flyback, which is a mechanical type of flyback. So that's the hybrid part of it. Otherwise, the rest of the watch is a quartz movement, but except for the chronograph flyback part, that is a mechanical part of the movement, I guess. And yeah, only 200 made. So it's, I don't get why they would say certificate of authenticity, but at least it tells you the information about the watch, which is nice to have that on hand. And ooh, this is a this is pretty nice, actually. This is a nice piano black type of case. Very nice case, actually. So, oh, actually, there's more here. There's a manual here, and this is pretty nicely done. So yeah, Corniche, they specialize in chronographs. I don't think they make any non-chronographs, actually. I think they're all their models are chronographs. They're just different styles, different colors and stuff like that. They'll tell you about their story. It's pretty nice information. So their background comes from the Côte d'Azur, which is from a small village on the French coast. And okay, so it's inspired by the French coastline. That's nice. See, a lot of their models actually look pretty nice. Okay, this is not a chronograph, so I guess they do have other models. Okay. I'm just really familiar with their chronographs, so I guess they have other models too. Butterfly clasp, placing the battery, yep. So this watch has a battery, of course, because it's a hybrid movement. Okay, cool, so it's a nice little blurb about their company. And yeah, this nice piano black case. Yeah, so again, pretty nice. You can tell this, they have their name here, Corniche, And this is the Bleu Ardoise model, which is a special limited edition model, only 200 made. So yeah, I guess you guys can take a look at why I kind of like this chronograph, because most chronographs I find are way too busy. Like there's too much stuff going on the dial. This one, it doesn't look like there's too much. I mean, for chronograph, it looks really clean, and that's why I like it. And really only Corniche chronos I've seen that are kind of like this. I mean, sure, like there's probably really way higher end chronos that have this look, but Corniche is definitely the one that I was intrigued by, especially given the price. So what's unique about this limited edition model, the Bleu Ardoise, is first of all, obviously it's in blue, but it's a very interesting blue. It's like this kind of not dark blue and not really light blue either. It's kind of like this Lake Placid blue type of color. So it's not like a navy blue, it's not like a baby blue, but it's somewhere in between. So it's yeah, it's this sort of muted blue color. So very interesting. Almost looks like a gray almost. Yeah, it's blue, but it's almost like a faded blue to the type where it's almost a gray. So it's pretty unique. And other thing special about this model is the applied numerals here. So usually Corniche's models have applied indices. This one has applied Arabic numerals. So that's pretty unique as well. All the other models is applied indices. This one, Arabic numerals, very nice. And then they'll tell you the I actually got number 199 out of 200. Okay, so I got almost the last one, I guess. This is number 199, so they're almost sold out, I guess. They only have 200, so I guess I got almost the last one. And then there's pushers to the side here, and just a simple C, I guess, for the logo. And then the hands here have like have an orange tip, which is also pretty nice too. And you can tell there's two dials here. One is actually for the 24-hour dial, and the other is the chrono dial, right? That's used to measure the time when you use the chronograph functions. So pretty interesting. Again, this is my first chronograph, so I have to figure out how it works. Genuine French leather strap, butterfly clasp. There it is. Alright, so this is the back of the watch here. You can tell it says Bleu Ardoise chronograph, limited edition of 200, Seiko VK64 hybrid, sapphire crystal, and I believe that is a picture of the coast in France with the sun rising over some of the islands or mountains maybe. Yeah, so that looks like what's inspired by is the French coast with the sun rising. Pretty nice. Alright, so I really enjoy using this watch so far. So as you can see, the seconds hands here is ticking 5 times per second, much like a mechanical watch's hands would. So it's interesting because it is using a quartz movement, which means that it is very accurate. So the actual time and date here, after you adjust it, it's battery powered. So that's a quartz movement. But when you engage the chronograph functionality, then the second hands here is mechanical. So this part here, as you can see, it ticks 5 times per second, just like a mechanical watch. It's got a very smooth sweep, whereas in a quartz watch, the seconds hand kind of ticks like this, right? It's 1 time per second, but a mechanical watch's hands ticks 5 times per second, so it's a lot more smoother. And that's what we got here. I guess that's why they call it a hybrid movement. And in the small dial here on the left, you can see that this is basically how many minutes has passed since I engaged the chrono function. And then this is the 24-hour clock, which is a secondary clock you can use. So I can stop this anytime, right? I can also, this is basically pausing it. I can also continue it. So this is the basic chronograph functionality, which, like I said, this is my first chronograph. So I wasn't too used to it, but I used it for a while, and yeah, you can stop it like this, and now you can see, almost 30 minutes have passed. That's how long I've used, how long this has been around since I started it, basically. So yep, that's the functionality there. And then of course you can press this one to reset both the counter here and the seconds hand. See, you can reset that both. goes back to 0, and then you can start it up again. So yeah, that's the chronograph functionality. The color is a color they call slate blue, which is this kind of pale blue type of color. It almost looks like a gray, so that's pretty interesting. So the leather strap as well is slate blue, almost looks like a cross between blue and gray. But yeah, this pale blue is pretty interesting. It's not navy blue, it's not baby blue. It's its own yeah, kind of faded blue, I would say. So that's pretty cool as well. All in all, I really enjoy this watch. I think it looks very beautiful. It's reasonably affordable. It's at $500 or less than $500, I'd say. Now this is a limited edition watch. So the limited edition models, you can get around $500, a little bit less than that. But the normal models, they sell for about $425 on the site. So $425. You can also get a 10% off discount code if you sign up on the site. So actually you can probably get it for around, I would say, $400. And that is a pretty good deal for a watch like this. All their watches use Miyota movements, or like this one, a Seiko hybrid movement. So that's part of the reason they're able to keep the cost down. Another thing I have to mention is when I say that this is a French brand, it technically is not. It's a Swedish brand. So I have to make that correction. So it's a Swedish brand, but they're inspired by France. So this, for example, the back of this is inspired by the Côte d'Azur, when the sun's setting over the mountains, I guess. And yeah, I guess the name Corniche comes from some roads, I think, that along the Côte d'Azur, which is the southern part of France. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is made in Europe or not. I'm guessing if it was made in Europe, then it would actually say so. So I don't see anything on their site that says, oh, this was made in Sweden, or made in Switzerland or something, or made in France. If they did, then obviously, you know, it would be, they would say that. So I can only guess that this was actually made in Asia, probably. In which case, that's another reason why the costs are lower, why this is more affordable. So yeah, it's not like a really luxury watch in any sense, but it does look really nice. So it certainly looks like a luxury watch, doesn't it? So anyways, to the average person who's looking at this watch, they'll definitely think it's a luxury watch, and they'll think it's a lot more expensive than it actually is. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think of the Corniche brand. Have you guys owned a Corniche watch before? Are you thinking about picking one up? Because I think these are some of the best looking chronographs on the market, and not that expensive either. They all come at under $500. So yeah, if you guys are interested, feel free to look on the Corniche website, and also let me know what you guys think of this watch. And leave it in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.